Live from the Echo Network studios here in Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Odd Musings, and we're back live, and we are your hosts, Brett Pinson.
I'm sorry, what? I can't hear after that.
You can't hear?
Blasted.
Well, just say Scott Zambelli.
No. This is Scott Zambelli. Can you turn down my headphones a little bit? They're like
Dominic's like, the hosts are
it
now
wasn't
deaf.
this loud in the check. You know the opening of Back to the Future when Marty McFly?
Yeah.
That's what this was like all of a sudden.
Well, it's like they did an old...
That's good.
Remember the old Tiny Toons cartoon? They had a movie called How I Spent My Summer Vacation, and they did a thing at the beginning. It was like the old THX. It was their version of it. And at the end it goes, the audience is now deaf.
Yeah, I missed that old THX saw that.
Yeah, we don't see that more. We see just all these new Dolby digital thingies at the movie theaters and stuff
You
like
don't
that.
really see THX at all anymore.
I seen it listed something recently, so they're still doing stuff, but it's not. They're not supplying the movie theaters as far as I know, unless they've got an exclusive contract with a chain that we just don't have around here.
I'm just curious, or did that go away with the Disney deal?
Could have.
I don't know.
But that was owned by separate from Lucasfilm, so who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
He might have had that. I don't know.
Not my area of expertise.
Yeah. Did you bring up? Hey Tom, did you bring up number 2 up there? So.
Bring up.
Yeah, we have to have. We're just on down. Make sure we've got to tell them to make sure the headphones number 2 is up going in our camera. So
cool.
But hey, we're back live again this week, and it's been a fun week. We were down in Monroe, Michigan, for the Monroe Comic-Con.
Yes, that's always a fun show to do.
Yeah, I had a nice time hanging out there and seeing some of the fans, and it's a new location for them. I like it. They've secured it for a while.
Yeah,
so.
I did like their new location. I think so far of the various locations they've had, it is the best one.
Yep,
for sure.
Parking's the best, and they had. I didn't get a chance to partake because it was there was food trucks there, and it sounds like some people really enjoyed the food trucks that came in. I like when some of these smaller shows do like a food truck rally almost.
Yeah, I did. I did one of the food trucks, and it was really good. I had a chicken wrap sandwich.
Oh, okay.
It was really good. Well, their little twist on things was they would take hash browns and make them very, very crispy.
Oh, nice.
And they would use that as a topping in their sandwiches, so you get a nice crunchy.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed those.
Yeah. Connie, the Comic-Con mom, came out for just a little bit. She brought my nephew out. The first time him coming to a Comic-Con. And
yeah, I got Trevor. Right?
Trevor, yeah. You get to go and walk around, check things out, and
I got to
see what a Comic-Con is like, because it's something different. When you've never been to one, it's a whole new experience.
Yeah, it's funny. We have people in our lives with how many shows we do that we know so many people who have never been still.
Yeah, it's like, you should come out. Well, I'm really not into comic books. It has nothing to do with comic books. It has to do with everything. It's like you watch most of the movies these things are talking about.
Right.
Plus, besides artwork is cool. There's a lot of artwork that's not just comic book centric. It's either based on movies, some people's own creations, odd stuff like that, different things. And it's like there's one of the gals I saw there at Monroe. I've seen it at several shows. She goes and buys old paintings and does what's called a remark and paints on them and adds like a creature in, things like that. And those are really cool. She's got cool stuff like that, makes prints out of them. So it's more than just superheroes and sci-fi and things.
Yeah, there's a good collection of all different styles and topics.
Yeah. And they had Big Daddy from Land of the Dead, and he got it all made up to look like a zombie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he he had a full-blown makeup job done and had the whole zombie look going. That was pretty fun. Pretty cool,
and he was great with the fans. I don't know him from any other movies but Land of the Dead, but he seems to play that up quite a bit. And he got into it. He was making announcements like, "I'm Big Daddy. You need to come see me."
Yeah. And then when you first mentioned Land of the Dead, I was thinking Land of the Lost from.
No, that was Great Lakes.
I'm like, was Big Daddy in Land of the Lost? I don't remember that.
No, they had a few people. They had a gal who I didn't recognize, but she was in Arrow and a bunch of other shows. And
yeah, she was when in the flashback scenes when so much happened on the island, but she ends up working with Oliver and helping him, and so it was really cool to see her because that's actually the only show I know her from. But she was also in a movie with oh God. What's his name?
that guy from that
guy.
thing,
Yeah.
starring in that movie you haven't seen.
As Brett knows, my memory is notorious for just crapping out on me. But
Well, he had his head stuck in a stormtrooper helmet last week, so
yeah. Oh, what, the Mexican actor? He's in his late.
You talking about Danny Trejo, the new Tombstone movie.
Thank you. Yes, and she's in that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but I saw that was just come out, and it's like a Return to Tombstone type. It's looks like a post-apocalyptic western or something like that.
Yeah, but
I like Danny Trejo, so that'd be kind of cool. I'm gonna have to check that out.
What was the famous role he's known for?
Well, he's known for Machete.
Machete,
or as they say, Machete.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Machete.
Yeah,
So,
and he played. And funny thing about that is he played Machete in the Spy Kids movies. That was the name of his character in the Spy Kids. And then when they did the Grindhouse movies, him and Robert talked, and they said, "Oh, we should do a Machete movie." And that's when they came up with the trailer for it. And then they said, "Let's just do an actual movie." And they've had like 2 or 3 of them now.
Right.
And it's funny. This is a guy that came from wasn't getting in acting. If you know his story, he unfortunately was a drug addict. Got himself clean in prison. It took going to
he was in jail,
and he was in tough prisons in California.
Yeah.
And when he got out, he became a counselor. And I heard him telling a story on another podcast years ago. It was he was basically mentoring some rich white kid, and as he said, and he calls him and says, "Well, I think I'm going to use. I'm down here at these docks," and he shows up and they're filming this movie, and the director walks up and says, "You're one of our guys?" He goes, "No, I'm here to talk to him." And he goes, "But you got the tattoos?" And he goes, "Yeah, these are real prison tattoos." And he ended up being a prisoner, or a former prisoner on the movie as an extra. Did some stunt doubles, but then he also taught Eric Roberts how to fight.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever learned.
Well, I didn't say he knew he was good at it, but he taught him how to fight. So obviously, think about how bad he would have been if Danny Trejo hadn't showed him how to throw a punch.
That's awesome, though.
So
yeah, and what's cool about his story, not that it's about him, but he's one because of what his life experiences was and the stage of life he's in where he became famous. He really appreciates what he's got.
Well, yeah, he spent many years doing stunt work and stuff like that from like the mid '80s to the mid '90s. Then he does Desperado with Robert Rodriguez, his first like really known role, and from there he started doing other roles with him and different things. And now because of all these movies he's done, these B movies and C movies and straight to videos, everybody knows who he is. He's got a good following.
He was Breaking Bad.
He was in Breaking Bad.
Great role. He was the turtle.
And the funny thing is, if you don't know, he's like 70 years old. He's not a young guy.
Late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, so he's because he was in prison in the he was in prison in the 60s. So and he was like in one of the bad ones. In fact, I think it's the one that Johnny Cash did a song for. So
I'm just adjusting the camera.
He's adjusting the camera.
It's off center and it's driving me nuts. Sorry, my OCD kicked in.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the feed and I'm like way off camera almost, and I'm like,
he's trying to get more of the beard in.
The beard. Yeah. So in addition to the Monroe Comic-Con, a little follow up from last week's story, the Cassini space satellite probe.
Oh yeah, Scott was telling me about this. He was so excited. He said, "Man, these were awesome pictures. It was great." And then I looked down and said, "Artist rendition."
Yeah, NASA needs to learn better about how to self-promote. Well, because to hype this up, they came out with these amazing artist renditions of what it will look like as the satellite enters into Saturn's atmosphere. And it's like the Millennium Falcon flying into Bespin there. The clouds and the beautiful sky. And then we get the video, the live video as it goes through, and it's overexposed. You just see like a white dot, which is the moon. And then as it enters, the super bright horizon just blocks the camera suddenly. And it's like 2 seconds, and it's over.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Now, to be fair, that was the low resolution live video.
Well, yeah.
There will be high resolution stuff. I hope
it's going to be.
Looks amazing.
I would say at least 6 months out because they have to render all that. They have to receive the data that's been transmitted, and then once they receive it all, then they're able to recompile it into the actual image. And most of it is, it's the mix of ones and zeros. It's radio signals. It's all this stuff that they compile to create what the image is supposed to be.
But and then, like you point out, then they have to erase all the data of the aliens they find.
Right.
They're
going to come by here.
Can't reveal that.
Here's ET going, "I'm on my way home."
Now that would be funny.
That would be funny. I think so. I was in the Star Wars movies.
Yeah. So, anyways, if you do want to see the video, it is cool still because it is the first time we're entering another planet's atmosphere like that. But they said it's going to take about a year for them to fully go through all the data. So roughly a year from now, we'll probably see these amazing pictures that do get released. So
it's even like with the Hubble telescope over the years. trailers and different things like that, they always say, here's what we got now, but when they go through and actually finish putting all the data in and clean it up and get more detailed, the quality is that much better.
But the problem with that is they hype up this aspect, and then when the big release comes out, you barely hear about it. And I happen to find out about it through some weird post somewhere, and there's no fanfare for the cool stuff. So
that's something they should do. Something like that is like, okay, let's have a big special of here's a reveal of all the cool video and all the images we now have that are finally compiled and ready to go. But unfortunately, it'll pop up somewhere, but it'll be like an afterthought, like, that was last year's story.
Yeah. So you came across a cool story about a neat bar in the Chicago area?
Yeah, it was in Chicago, and those that have been listening to the show for a while know that Scott and I are both big fans of the Stranger Things show. With season 2 coming next month, there was a bar in Chicago did a Stranger Things pop-up, and Netflix found out about it, and they were really cool with their cease and desists they sent. And I understand, they had to do this to protect their trademarks.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about trademarks versus copyright.
Right, because when they were calling it, they had things in there like they were doing 11's Eggos, and of course, I'm shocked the Eggo people didn't come after them after this, but they're shutting down anyways. I'm going to read the cease and desist letter, which is pretty cool, and it starts with Danny and Doug. That must be the guys that opened the place up. It says, my walkie-talkie is busted, so I had to write this note and said, I heard you launched a Stranger Things pop-up bar at your Logan Square location. Look, I don't want you to think I'm a total wasteoid, and I love how much you guys love the show. Just wait until you see season 2. But unless I'm living in the Upside Down, I don't think we did a deal with you for this pop-up. You're obviously creative types, so I'm sure you can appreciate that it's important to us to have a say in how our fans encounter the world we build. We're not going to go full Dr. Brenner on you, but we ask that you please, 1, not extend the pop-up beyond its 6-week run ending in September, which is cool that they're not forcing them to close right away, and 2, reach out to us for permission if you plan to do something like this again. Let me know as soon as possible that you agree to these requests. We love our fans more than anything, but you should know the Demogorgon is not always as forgiving. So please, don't make us call your mom. So it was a pretty cool cease and desist.
It was. A similar, there was a comic book company. It was a smaller independent company. And they did something kind of similar where they did a release, and it was very informative the way they did their release, but it was kind of like an apologetic cease and desist. And basically it got into the difference between copyright versus trademark. And that's where a lot of people don't understand. Legally speaking, trademarks, if a company doesn't enforce their trademarks, they can lose them.
Yes.
Versus copyright, if they choose not to enforce them, they won't lose them.
Correct.
And that's the key difference. So that's where you start getting into issues like fan art and other things where people always want to ask, everyone wants to be this wannabe lawyer at Comic-Cons. And usually the questions center around their misunderstanding between trademark versus copyright. Typically for fan art, a lot of times the companies really don't care.
No.
Because there is no risk of them losing it. But once you start using trademarks, which is names, slogans, logos, things like that, that's trademark material.
Right.
And if they don't follow up on that, then they could lose them. And that's where, and I get the feeling from the tone of Netflix letter, it was kind of the same thing. It was like, listen, you're infringing on trademark here.
They were trying to reel it in. They didn't make them close down.
Right.
I think what it was is they did this little limited thing, and most of the time they're not going to say anything. As an example, I'm in Cincinnati this coming weekend, and they're doing a Harry Potter geek prom, and they're not going to come after them for saying we're doing a Harry Potter themed geek prom. Right. But what it is when you're trying to extend it and keep it going and do different things, like you were trying to do at the bar, they were talking about keeping it going through October. They were like, Netflix had to stand and say, you guys need to talk to us about this because
I think especially when you turn it into an advertising campaign on top of it.
Right, and that's what it became, was a big deal about it. And I think part of it too is for Netflix, and I think they're like, this is a really cool idea. Talk to us about it. And they're probably going to say, look, we want to do this with you next time for Series 3 because there will be another one. They've already renewed it, and they can do it much better and make it more official. and that, but they were using everything from the movies that was stuff that they trademarked and copyrighted in that, and so that's where they kind of, I think, ran into some problems.
Yeah, and the other aspect of being a bar, I'm sure Netflix doesn't want it clear they're not affiliated in case there is some drunk driving incident or something like that. They don't want to be brought into a lawsuit as being supportive of this bar when it wasn't even happening with their knowledge, and that's a whole nother layer of legalities.
Right, and we've seen a lot of pop-ups lately. They did a Game of Thrones pop-ups here and there, and not heard anybody doing cease and desist, but for the most part, most of these pop up for like a couple days. This was like a good 6-week run. I think that's where they thought they were trying to do a permanently themed bar, and so they had to step in.
Even if it was permanently themed, though, this goes like with the Tangent Gallery, and there is a permanently themed one also. They do a Star Wars themed one, and I forget where it was, but there is a permanently themed Star Wars one also. But the key is they don't sell it as a Star Wars bar.
Right.
When you go in it, you can the decorations, everything is obviously Star Wars. The people dress up as Star Wars characters. They serve drinks that look like the blue milk and other things from Star Wars. It's a Star Wars themed bar.
Right.
But they call it things like the Space Dive. They're not using the Star Wars name, which is trademarked.
Right.
And whereas if they outright advertise it as a Star Wars bar, that's where you'll get the cease and desist. And I think if these people want to keep doing this bar with some very minor changes, they can probably make it totally legit.
Sounds like it's a pop-up location they've used before.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're that upset about having to shut it down when they originally were going to. So we'll see what happens, though.
Yeah, but it definitely sounds like a fun place to go and check out.
Well, I think also it shows that this even though it stars kids, this show really appeals to mostly adults, especially guys like us that grew up through the 80s. So.
Yeah, it's appealing to that nostalgia that we have of our childhood. And this ties back into the It movie, too, and its popularity.
Right.
It's tapping into that 80s nostalgia of all of us who are in our age group, 40 and up. We remember where we were the pack of kids where we were riding our bikes through the neighborhoods and we were having our individual adventures and as we spent the day outside, something kids nowadays don't even understand.
No, they don't.
Outside in the sun. but anyways, so they appeal to that. But and talking about Stranger Things, today I am wearing a Stranger Things t-shirt with the upside down on it. It's a parody shirt, which is then another way you get around trademark is through use of parody, which is a protected form of free speech. So I've got the upside down on from our sponsor T-24. Brett is sporting the Ghostbuster shirt that they make.
Yes. And
they do so much more than that. So let me tell you a little bit about them.
Yes, definitely.
T-24 is a creator of unique pop culture t-shirts and vinyl decals. At T-24.com, you'll find over 140 graphic tees and hundreds of vinyl decals based on your favorite movies, TV shows, comic books, and video games. So go to their website at www.T-24.com. That's TEEMINUS24.com. Check out their fun selection of products, and after you find something you like, use the coupon code ODD and at the checkout and get 10% off your entire purchase. And Christmas is right around the corner. People are always looking for gifts for family members.
I know a lot of people start now looking for stuff. Yeah. Go on there and check them out. They do specials here and there, so they will offer different specials. Mm-hmm. So watch for that. They I know at the shows, like they're going to be in Baltimore this weekend for Baltimore Comic Con, and that they have different things out. Our code does not work in person. So keep that in
still
mind.
Tell them you heard about them.
Yeah, definitely. I heard you guys from Odd Musings, so I'm here to buy a shirt at an even better discount at the shows because they do 2 for $30, I believe, at the shows.
Yeah, and that's why the odd discount doesn't apply at shows because they have their own special deals that they're giving you amazing deals for these great shirts, and they're high quality shirts.
Yes, and sometimes they do bring in mystery boxes with like 3 shirts for a special price. So definitely check that out too. Yep. And the vinyls, they have really cool vinyl decals. So.
Yeah, so say hi to Vinny and Lisa if you're out in Baltimore, and which also Dominic will be out at Baltimore representing his Mess Bucket Comics.
Yeah,
I'll be out there first time.
Awesome,
first time. So go out there and pop his Baltimore cherry.
Thanks, Scott.
Brett does inappropriate jokes and he laughs. I do one and I get a head shake.
Double standards.
I don't do inappropriate jokes.
What was the squirrel joke?
You can clearly see he's nuts. There's nothing inappropriate about that. He's a crazy squirrel.
But anyways,
Yeah, wait till my joke later. I got another one this week.
go to T-24.com or go to our website, oddmusings.com. We have a sponsors page where all of our sponsors are listed with links to their website there. Check them out. You won't be disappointed. You have that person in your life you don't know what to buy for? This is it. They will like it. I guarantee it.
Definitely. Buy early, buy often.
All right. So we've had this mystery appearance on our website with our logo.
Yes. He was blacked out. He's going to be revealed. Have you revealed him yet online?
Well, it was just revealed in the teaser for the episode.
Okay.
The silhouetted is now removed, but it's still with question marks, so nobody knows his name yet.
Well, it's an easy name.
It's an easy name.
Well, and it's funny. The backstory on this character was when we started talking about the podcast, we came up with the idea for the podcast name, and we were talking like, well, we need a mascot because I think a cool mascot would be fun.
And to be fair, we got to give a shout out to Dominic because we kind of stole his idea. Well, because he has Motown Mojo Live.
Right. He's got Mojo.
He's got Mojo in the title, which is the main hero in his comic book series. What Morris and Jones? Morris Jones.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, sorry. And he only speaks in Doors lyrics.
Yes.
So, but using that character, he tagged him. He hooked him up to his show's name. So we kind of did the same thing.
Yes. And
How dare you? I'm the first person to ever do something like that.
Oh yeah, I know. Nobody's ever thought of doing that.
But knowing the genius that is Dom, we decided to follow in his footsteps.
Okay. Let's go with that.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I never thought anything about Dom when we were talking about this. I thought about this would be cool to have a character and we can make a plushie.
Brett's always thinking about Dom.
Yeah. we have a life-size mural in our rooms of Dominic.
I've gone back and I got a photo of him when he was playing football in college.
But anyways, so our show is called Odd Musings, and this creature's name, oddly enough, is
Odd.
ODD. And how did he get his name?
Well, part of it was since we were called Odd Musings, we said, well, we'll call him Odd. And he is a little odd. If you notice from the picture, he's kind of a different looking creature.
Yeah, a lot of people are associating him with like a little troll.
Yeah, he's got a little troll-esque to him, but he comes from the land that we're creating.
Yes.
And we're calling it Oddlands.
Yes.
And we're going to be having a Kickstarter book to introduce the land to do this really cool journal we're doing right now.
Yeah, and just to give us very, very brief backstory is the reason why everything is odd, or the Oddlands, is the character who is writing this journal discovers this land, and for lack of a better name, because these creatures don't have a name for themselves, he just starts calling them Oddlanders, and he calls it the Oddlands because everything is odd there.
Yeah.
And the first creature he met, he just started calling him odd as a name because the creature didn't have a name that he could say.
Yeah.
So that's where the origin came out, and then we're gonna the story we're putting together right now that will be the first release basically lays the foundation of this universe that future stories will be built on.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to it.
We're going to meet quite a few of the Oddlanders, not all of them, different creatures that are there. Yeah. I'm real excited for you guys to meet the Schnogrins.
Yeah, they're Schnogrins and Chief Gronkwarts and
and then you learn about sizzleberries.
Oh yeah,
fizzleberries.
Fizzleberries.
Yeah. I said sizzle, but it's fizzle because they sizzle.
They sizzle. Yeah.
But they're interesting. They're part of their food staple, and then and eventually we'll meet some not so nice odd creatures.
Yes,
we're not going to talk about them now. But
no, they're.
But that's going to be part of a little bit of the journal, and then that's all going to lead to us eventually doing some actual stories.
Yeah, and the goal with this this world we're creating is we're hoping to create something that, because when we do comic book conventions, so much of it is targeted at adults.
Yep.
And we want something that families can enjoy, and this will be written on a level that children will enjoy, and hopefully adults will enjoy. And we're gonna take this and grow it into, if it goes the way we're hoping, multiple levels of stories where like the Schnagrins will have their own children's book series where for maybe, I don't know, 5 to 7 years old or something.
No, young. Well, young you can read to your children up through early ages. Just a fun children's book, and then we'll have the main stories will be
young adult,
not even fully young adult too much. It'll be almost
10,
like the early Harry Potter. I would say like 7 to on up.
Yeah, so
I don't want to limit the age because as an older person, I read those children's books that are
as an older person.
Well, as the eldest person in this room, but it's more about like a lot of the kids when they're in second and third grade call them chapter books, and but ours going to incorporate a lot of illustrations into it as well. So in some ways, not in the same vein of storytelling, but it's going to be similar to the style of books that are like the Captain Underpants and Vordak the Incomprehensible. There's another series I show where you're going to have a lot of illustrations to help drive the story as well as regular writing, and not just all graphic illustrations. But we still are talking about doing some actual graphic novels too.
Yes, there's that, and who knows? If people want to license the product and turn it into something that could be a cartoon series, we would love that, or video game, and that's kind of what we're doing. Is we're creating this world with an idea that it will be open-ended and can go in various different directions.
Right.
And so stay tuned on that. Currently, we have the first 30 pages of the first book. Rough draft, and then we'll have. It's going to be about 60 pages. We're going to launch the Kickstarter in the coming weeks here. Over the next week or so. By end of next week, I will have the first 30 pages fully roughed artistically, and then we'll be moving forward there.
So we'll be announcing the Kickstarter for that. That should be fun. And then as long as things go well, we're hoping. Basically, I want to take the Mel Brooks approach to this, and we're going to be talking about merchandising.
Yes. Plushies.
Yes.
We're going to do fan art of Odd.
I want, the Oddlands flamethrower.
Whoa.
Well, it's like Spaceballs. The kids love it.
But,
Odd the cereal.
But,
Oddlands the toilet paper.
Now you're just being Gene Simmons.
Well, he took it from Spaceballs, so.
But so we're excited about this, and we hope the fans receive them well. Based on our initial rough stories and talks that we're outlining, I'm really excited for this and looking forward to where it goes.
I think we got a lot of cool ideas that'll definitely spawn off from this, and after the first Kickstarter, we'll be launching more stuff to go along with it as Kickstarters, and who knows, we'll take it from there and see how things go. And
exactly.
And you, the fans, we want to hear your feedback once it comes out, and definitely for our listeners, keep watching so you can support it.
Yeah, there you go.
So, but on another note, you could also support one of our sponsors.
That's right.
And that would be Loringer Family Chiropractic. And they are located in Belleville, Michigan, as well as Dexter, Michigan. Just saw they were in downtown Detroit for a conference over the weekend. They took their whole staff, and they had a lot of breakout rooms and different things going on. Basically got some new trainings, new updates on different things going on in the world of chiropractic. So looking forward to see what they bring to the offices there. But at Loringer Family Chiropractic Center PC, they take great pride in providing the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient. As you know, I'm a patient there, and Scott's daughter Ashley's been going there as well.
Yep.
And been taking really good care of us, because they do offer on-site digital x-rays, massage therapy, orthotics by foot levelers. They have Young Living essential oils, aromatherapy, full line of vitamins, and they offer it in a family-oriented environment. You can call them in Belleville at 734-697-4244, and from that number they can set you up with an appointment either in Belleville or Dexter. And if you happen to not be in the area, you can also give them a call and say, this is where I live at. Do you know somebody you can refer me to who would take care of me just like you guys do? Because they know people all over the country. You can also visit them at LoringerFamilyChiropractic.com, but we do have a link at oddmusics.com under our sponsors page. So go check them out. That's awesome. Loringer Family Chiropractic.
All right. And then in addition to our cool little mascot Odd, we are rolling out another exciting thing this week. It's for those who aren't familiar, it's on a platform called Patreon.
It's a great way for you, the fans, to help support the show and help us grow as a show for something that you guys can contribute to.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept where people who are creative types, whether they're creating podcast shows or they're artists or writers or anything else, it's a way that those who like to follow them can join in and partner with them and be part of the growth of that artist or podcast or anything else.
Now, it's similar, just so you guys know, similar to Kickstarter, but the difference is it's an ongoing thing. It's not just a one-time buy. It's a monthly thing. For a minimum of $1, we're going to start eventually putting up some exclusive content strictly to Patreon.
Yeah, for those who don't know, what it does is basically you subscribe. We are set up on a monthly rate for, like, let's say $1. If you sign on for $1 a day, or a day, well, if you want to do $1 a day, you can do that.
It's only a cup of coffee.
$1 per month. We're going to be running like polls asking you, the fans, what content you would like us to cover. Mm-hmm. We are also going to have some exclusive content that goes through the Patreon site so that only you would receive as being part of the show.
Or you receive it earlier before anybody else does.
Yes. We currently release everything all at once, but through Patreon, we're going to start some of the stuff being pre-released.
Kind of like what we did last week with, if you guys saw online, our Talk About the Orville through the YouTube live channel.
Correct.
We're going to do that. And part of what the Patreon is, it'll be available to our Patreon members first, and then second would be like to our YouTube subscribers.
Yeah, so if you want to get on there and check it out, it's Patreon is spelled patreon.com/oddmusings.
Yes,
and you'll find us there. Some other levels, you can do for $5 a month, $10 a month. There's different things like I don't see the.
Well, we're gonna be adding more rewards in down the road. Things like you'll be able to get exclusive Odd merchandise, like prints with our character Odd.
Yeah, that part's not on there yet, but yes, we're looking to do prints and other things where almost like a crate type thing, where for a certain dollar amount, you'll get a monthly package in the mail.
Yes,
things like that. But right now, what we have up, for instance, for $5 a month, we'll have a special video done where you the Patreon supporters will be able to submit whatever questions you want.
Yep.
And then Brett and I, at the end of each month, we'll put together a special video where me and him will go through all the questions you ask and answer them, and do it in a fun way, but put it on a video that you guys will see. Some other.
And this is a new thing for us. Keep in mind, this show, our main show, is going to stay available. We're going to do it on Facebook Live every week when we're able to. We're going to do it. It's always going to be available right away on all our channels through YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or whatever we've got to get it uploaded to.
Yeah, another one of the rewards too, at the $10 level, we're going to create a secret Facebook group. Ooh. That only the members of these Patreons these level of supporters will be able to have access to. And it'll be a private room where we'll let down our hair, so to speak, and be more, there'll be much more of a back and forth conversation in those type of threads that are in there, versus the more of the produced stuff that's going to be on the YouTube. Right. So, who knows? Maybe you'll see me with my morning bed hair talking about some new movie that they just announced. And you get to pay to see that.
Yeah, bed hair and bed beard.
Bed beard. That does happen. I had to get a haircut, and I just got a trim because my beard was getting to the point. I'd wake up in the morning and it'd be all like half my face it'd be smushed flat. So I'd have to then get myself all wet and comb it out because it was getting. Bed beard is a real thing.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
It is a real thing. But another exciting thing through Patreon is, as you know, we have our amazing sponsors that we have for these various companies that we do ad reads for.
Right.
But let's say you have a small company and you don't want to necessarily invest in a 3-month or a 1-year type sponsorship. sponsorship package. Well, through Patreon, you could do something where we talk about your business or special event for once a week or once a month.
Yeah.
Where one episode a month we'll talk about you. Or you could sponsor at a level where you could even get.
Well, and if you don't have a business and you're just the guy that wants us to talk about you,
that's fine
you
too.
Pay for it. We'll talk all about you. We'll roast you up and down here.
Whatever you want, we will do it. The only caveat is we are a family-friendly show, so
we'll have to get a bleep button.
Yeah, well, there will be a minor review process just to make sure the content of the ad is going to be work-friendly, family-friendly.
Yeah, and so, I mean, it can pretty much be about anything, but we may have to reword some things just to make it safe for television, basically, is the way it goes.
Yeah, so check it out. I will be posting later today the links on our oddmusings.com page. I'll be sharing links on our Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
And but we're really excited about where this could take us because our initial goal is if we can get up to $500 a month through our Patreon supporters, which would be 500 of you just did $1 each.
Yep.
Or 100 of you did the $5, whatever it works out to. But our initial goal is if we can get to $500 a month through our donors, we are looking to expand the show to a 2-hour format, which could either be 2 1-hour episodes a week or 1 2-hour episode a week, or we'll have to decide at that juncture how we'll format it. But we're looking to expand it to 2 hours per week is our goal.
Yeah.
And then once we hit that goal, which I know we will because you listeners are so awesome, then we'll look at expanding other options too, like enhancing our video capability and things like that.
So we can try to keep doing the live videos, getting equipment for that, because even like when we're at our houses, we both have very limited equipment that we can use. So
we'd be able to upgrade to better editing equipment, and by going that route, the ultimate goal is we want, like let's say, if you check out like the Nerdist, for instance, they do really high quality videos that they release on a daily basis. We want to get to the point where we could do that. There's a breaking news story, we can hurry up and put something together video wise, do some edits, put video in it, and release something that you guys will want to see. And we want to start producing original content, because a lot of what we do right now on our websites is a lot of it is sharing other people's content,
right?
Just because of the time commitments are great when you start getting into original content like that.
Yeah.
But through Patreon, we're hoping to grow to the point where we could invest that time to create the original content.
Yeah, and supply you guys, the listeners and viewers, with more fun stuff to see, and hopefully get you guys to kind of be a participant as well, and not just a viewer.
Yeah, so check it out, patreon.com, that's patreon.com/oddmusings.
Yes, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And as one of the companies we do deal with that we would be using for the odd loot box down the road is IMP, International Minute Press, and they are located in Plymouth, Michigan.
And they are an awesome sponsor.
Yes, and in fact, a good friend of ours, Kevin Miner, got his first prints from them. I delivered them to him at the Monroe Show, and he was very happy with them. The quality was excellent. And they do design, print, and promote you. They offer specialty printing services, custom graphic designs, marketing consultation, and promotional products. IMP has the services and skills to help artists and entrepreneurs looking to take their business to the next level. They do that by exceeding client and customer expectations. Now, they're more than just dealing with artwork like for guys like us. They deal with everything a business needs, from promotional products to business cards to flyers to all kinds of paper forms. They can do it all. And they are located at 1058, that's 1058 South Main Street in Plymouth, Michigan. They do ship anywhere in the country, and you can give them a call at 734-414-6203 or visit them online at www.myprinter.intlminutepress.com. But an easy way to find them is go to oddmusings.com, click the sponsor link, and you can find them there. Did we lose our video again?
I'm not sure. We might have. Can you pull it up on your phone?
I can try. So
it's either the video's down or I got a bad signal. I'm not sure which. So Brett will check that out on his phone. But moving forward, some other interesting things. Oh, the Orville.
Oh yeah, Orville. That was
episode 2 came out this week, and I enjoyed it.
Yes.
I'm reading. I gotta say, most of the remarks I'm reading online are semi-negative.
I'm seeing some mix between people that are watching it. Some really like it.
My headphones turned on. Some other interesting thing. Oh, the Orville.
There we go.
Oh yeah, Orville. That was episode 2.
Is that your sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like we're back.
Yep, I'm back.
We're back. Deidre sees us. Hi, Deidre. How you doing? And Mom says she is. Connie the Comic Con Mom sees us.
We're giving a shout out. Hey, and actually, we still have about 20 minutes. We're going to keep talking, but anybody who is watching on the live feed, feel free to type in any questions you have or comments or what we're talking about. You can chime in and we'll read it. Heck, if you want a shout out, we'll shout out for you.
Yeah.
So go ahead and interact on our feed there. And but yes, so back to the Orville. I really enjoyed it.
You know, I'm not going to get into a whole review of the show again, but just talk about the show, the way it looked this week. I loved the way it felt. They've got more of a Star Trek Next Generation feel to it. I like that a lot. Mm-hmm. They're telling their own stories. What I like, though, is it wasn't all about Seth MacFarlane's character. He had a big part in it, but a majority of the show actually focused on all the other characters that are in the ship. So we're really learning more about them. And it's not just going to be about, like we saw in the first episode, where it's him going somewhere and doing something, and the other cast is just kind of background.
And actually, as far as like a sci-fi story goes, spoiler alert, I won't get deep in the spoilers, but like, for instance, I thought that could have been a Star Trek storyline.
Yeah, it felt very Star Trek-y.
Yeah, they used a holographic projection to create this fake-looking ship, and they got into the memories of the characters to replicate what they knew, and
there was a transporter type thing that happened.
Yeah, so it really did. It felt like a great episode. It's more lighthearted, but I think people, just because it's Seth MacFarlane, they're expecting this hardcore comedy, and that's not the goal of the show.
Yeah, it's not going to be Ted in space.
Right.
And that's what I think some people thought it was going to be. This might be Ted in space. It's not.
Hey, hello, Angela. Angela's chiming in.
Hey there.
Thanks for checking in on us.
But it's what I'm liking about it is it's not the best show in the world. I'm not trying to act like it is, but I'm really enjoying it. It is what it is, and it's staying true to what it's trying to be. Mm-hmm. And it's building up its world. I mean, if you go back and watch like Star Trek Next Generation, that first season, while people laud it now, when it first came out, people were kind of like, it's kind of okay.
Yeah. Even the character storylines are interesting, and I don't remember his name, but it's the Worf of the episode. It's an interesting twist they put on his species.
Oh yeah,
and it was funny, but it also was interesting.
Yeah,
or the female who got put in charge of the ship. Yeah, and she had self-doubt about being able to do it. I thought it was great. The little story arcs they're
adding in, personality traits a lot more. They're not stiff. They're not just always perfect.
Right.
We caught that early on in the first episode, and this one's even more. And neat thing is it's moving to Thursdays, which is going to help out a lot because, like this week's episode, I DVR'd it, and I set my DVR to go longer just in case because I didn't know when football was going to end because the game got delayed because of weather in Denver. And so it started about a half hour late. And so, I happened to go and, it's on. So I flipped on my DVR and went back and watched the beginning. I only missed like 5 minutes. So
I got to say, I am looking forward to seeing it. And seeing what direction they go. And this is only the second episode. It typically takes at least a half season for any show to start gelling with, the writers finding the voices of their characters, the actors finding the chemistry between each other.
Well, it's a lot of shows. It's like even Seinfeld. Seinfeld, as much as people talk about it as the greatest show ever, it was okay. I was never a big fan. I like elements of it, and that's fine. But people forget the first season was on, didn't get the ratings. People weren't really like crazy about it, because they didn't understand it, and it almost got canceled. But they had nothing to replace it, so it got another season, and then it caught the audience.
Right, exactly.
So, but nowadays things go a little faster with everything flipping over to Netflix and Hulu right away, and so you got to start watching it, guys. Check it out.
Al's asking, when is it on again? So Thursdays.
It'll be on Thursday nights on Fox. I believe it's going to be on at 9 o'clock. Mm-hmm. It's either 8 or 9 because Eastern time.
Right.
And then the rest of the times you have to check. So check your local listings for your Fox on Thursdays. It's moving there. So instead of having football before it, it'll be competing against football, which will be on one of the other channels. So.
And then another show I watched, also getting caught up on, was I watched Fear the Walking Dead.
Okay, I'm still behind on that.
Yeah, so I gave a review online about the pilot, which was episodes 1 and 2 of the second half of the season here. That it was a 2-hour premiere or whatever, and I didn't didn't care for it. I felt it was hard to watch. I will say, though, this episode that was just on, I think it was the first time elements of it started feeling like Walking Dead. There's a scene where they're going through sewers and there's this nasty zombie who's stuck, and they have to like hack at it and stuff. And then it's just reminiscent of how in Walking Dead they're always trying to find a new way to kill a zombie that's like gross and well, there's this large zombie stuck in this pipe, and they have to remove it, so she's having to hack it up into pieces to clear it out. And it's all nasty, and they're already in the sewers. Well, turns out this very large zombie that was stuck in the sewer pipe, once they got it down small enough, they realized there's this back pressure that was being held back. So once there's this nasty sewer water just shoots all over them. But when that was happening, I realized, you know what? This is the first time I actually felt like I was watching Walking Dead. Yeah. So hopefully this means
I'll probably get caught up sometime next week. So I'll miss this week's episode. So I'm going to wait till next week.
So I just wanted to give them a fair shake that I did enjoy this episode. Yeah. And I'm hoping it will keep going that way, but we'll see. I'm not holding my breath over it.
Well, the show's lost me a couple times where I stopped watching it. Yeah. So it's one of those things I want to see it succeed, but if I'm not enjoying it, then I can't watch it. And unlike Dora, which I'm enjoying, and we got a new series come back up this next week. The Good Place is coming up.
I got to get caught up on the first season of that. I watched about the first half, and I did enjoy that.
And that starts up tonight. There's an hour preview tonight.
Was it you I was talking with? You said there's a big twist.
There's a twist at the end, and we're not going to talk about it on air, but
I have a theory as to what's going on, so it's interesting. I'm interested to see where this is going, but it's a fun show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it starting up, and I'll catch it later. So.
This Is Us is coming back on.
Yeah, that's starting up this next week.
I will say that show, I thought I was going to have zero interest in, and I just happened to catch it casually. I got hooked.
That's what I thought too, because everybody was like, "Oh, this is the greatest show ever." And when two people tell me it's the greatest show ever, I'm usually like, I don't know. And I ended up watching it, and I was like, you know what? It was really good, very well written. I'm excited to see what they do this season.
They do a good, and hopefully their own success doesn't ruin it. They didn't force issues. It's just the things unfolded, and it was just part of these people's lives, and it didn't feel like these forced messages or forced issues.
What I liked was, it was as the things unfolded as they're going forward in time, they tied it into what happened previously in their lives when they were younger, and for the dad and everything else. So that's what I liked about it, and it wasn't constantly forcing the issues. I mean, the overall arc of the story for this past year was almost like they were all finally had been separated for many years, and they were coming back together as a family, and that's what the first season was. So now we get to see how things go forward now with the one brother, the adopted brother. He quit his job, so what's going to happen from there? His biological father died, so that changed and stuff like that. And if this is spoilers for you, well, too bad, it's been out for a while.
Well, and then also the boyfriend or whatever he is, he had the heart attack. Right. Now, did they wrap that part up?
They did wrap some of that up.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, and then they're supposedly engaged, so now we've got, but there'll be more stuff going on there. It's just to see how they do work out things. They still have a lot of issues as a family to deal with, and then we'll see how things start coming up as they're progressing through time. So I'm looking forward to that. A lot of other fun shows coming out.
Then on the movie front, you brought up some new stuff coming out.
Yeah, there's a new Terminator coming out.
Yeah, Terminator 6. And I'll let you explain the premise.
All right. Well, if those have been following the Terminator movies, you had the original one in '84,
which was awesome,
and then you had Terminator 2, which was a great film.
Terminator 2 was, I think, as far as a story went, was by far the best of them all.
And they were both done by James Cameron. And then from there, other people within the studio did Terminator 3, which I liked. It wasn't great, but I still liked it. It was a quick hour and a half, and it goes fast. It was all action. And then they tried to reboot the series twice now. Terminator Salvation was supposed to be all set in the future. We were supposed to be new Terminators, new people, stuff like that. It bombed miserably. It just was not good. Yeah. And then they rebooted 2 years ago Terminator Genesis, and it started the gal from Game of Thrones, Daenerys.
Yeah. And as Sarah Connor,
who looked nothing like what people saw already, but I liked it. I thought it was a great reboot. They took and they had to go and fix some of the time travel stuff that they've done in the past.
Actually, I disagree with that.
So-
I think they ruined the time travel stuff. I enjoyed the movie, but to me, you had to disregard all time travel logic and disregard the actual timeline of things that happened because they screwed up so many points.
Well, that's what I like about it. They were kind of trying to fix all that stuff, and I thought at the end they set it up to where it could have gone anywhere.
That's
what I liked about it.
They finally broke that time loop that they were stuck in.
But now, though, with Terminator 6, it's called that now just for as a production name. They're going to go and it's more of a direct sequel to Terminator 2, done by James Cameron, bringing back Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's going to bring back Linda Hamilton, and she'll be playing Sarah Connor.
I think this is such a mistake.
And
they finally broke away from the time loop, and they created they took the franchise to a point where they could move forward onto brand new ground.
Right, and this is supposed to be the start of a new trilogy. The problem with is okay, so now we're going to go and disregard the previous two movies, which is fine because they are easily disregarded, especially with Genesis because it actually went back to 1984, even though they jumped back up to 2017 within their time frame and stuff like that. I mean,
Genesis was the last one.
Yeah, that was the last one.
Yeah, they even go farther back because the whole storyline was the first T-800 actually went too far back and found Sarah Connor as a child, and then she raises him to be her dad.
Yeah, that was a weird thing.
Whatever. But Alan chimes in with a great point. He really enjoyed the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yes, I did too. It was 2 seasons, and it dealt more with what happened between like Terminator 2 and what was supposed to end up being the real Judgment Day. Because at the end of Terminator 2, as we know, Judgment Day didn't happen because they changed things. It didn't.
It got delayed.
Yes,
it got delayed. But the date of Judgment Day got delayed, not any other production. But to me, it sounds like basically this new Terminator 6 is basically going to be Cameron ripping off the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I think that's kind of what it is.
Well, it's also as much as he basically jumped all over Wonder Woman and gave a bunch of stuff. It's like, well, I'm going to show you how to do a Wonder Woman action. I'm like, everything I'm reading, I'm just not excited about because I like James Cameron's early movies. I'm not a big fan of Avatar. He keeps telling there's 3 more Avatar movies coming out, but if he's now going into Terminator, it's like, when do you have time to do all this?
Yeah, and what is the delay with Avatar?
I don't know.
By the time he actually makes it, no one's going to remember.
Yeah, here's my irresponsible speculation on that. It's going to be crap. He knows it's crap. Disney already built the land at Animal Kingdom.
He got his big payoff.
So he's gotten his big payoff there, and now they're expecting these movies to come out, and he's like, well, the story's just not there. And that's what he's been saying for 10 years. Oh, I'm working on the story, and it's going to be 3. It's going to be this big arc and this and that. And I'm like, well, let's see what garbage you bring out now, because unfortunately with Avatar, for me, it was dances with wolves in space.
I agree. Before we get into another movie that's coming out soon, let me give a quick ad read for another one of our valued sponsors, because we're already at 10:50. Yeah. So I want to get to that. But we got the Chubby Duck Detroit, who they do amazing food, and for some reason I can't find the ad read. There it is.
And they are located in Detroit, Michigan.
Yes. So located in the heart of Detroit, Chubby Duck Detroit is working to bring the freshest local ingredients together with a little Motown soul to create a new and sustainable food tradition that everyone can afford to enjoy. So visit on Facebook at Chubby Duck Detroit, or go to our Odd Musings page and find the links to their website there. Great food. We got to go there a couple weeks back.
Yes. In fact, talking to somebody over the weekend at the Monroe Comic Con, and I mentioned that, and they were like, oh yeah, I've been there. It was pretty good. And a friend of mine loves these little pop-up restaurants that are almost nondescript, and it's can be easily missed, but it's got signage.
Yeah, you definitely got to. I mean, it's a small strip mall spot, or strip mall.
Well, the whole area is under construction, and they're redoing all the storefronts.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, so that made it a little difficult to see, but it is there, and the food is delicious, and it's waiting for you, fresh. And if you're just trying to be in and out, they have food prepared that they make right then. They're constantly renewing it, and they got it as like a takeout type where you can choose what you want, buy it, and get out fast. So if you're in a rush, you can still stop and get quality food that's healthy for you and delicious.
And they make it up pretty quick, so definitely check it out.
Check out Chubby Duck Detroit.
Yep, link on theoddmusics.com.
Yeah. So there's been a bit of a controversy online about the new Tomb Raider poster that came out. And they also released the new Tomb Raider teaser.
Right. I had Scott watch it before we got on the air here. I wasn't impressed. I thought the actress that's starring in it, she's channeling her her inner Harrison Ford. She was very monotone. It was, okay, Dad. Yeah, thanks, Dad. Oh, this is kind of cool. It's a key. Neat. Yeah, all right, there we go, Dad. I'm going to jump in. Yeah, I'll take 2 guns.
If she starts waving her finger, yelling, "Get off my plane," it's gone too far. Yeah. Or was it the Harrison Ford dive where he jumps?
She did it, though.
She did do that. You are correct.
And a lot of the stuff it made it look like the character from the video game, which I played, and it's fine. It's a video game movie. Now this is not the first one. So
I will say, I did enjoy the Angelina Jolie ones.
I did too.
I thought they were very good. Here's the thing: they did an adaptation of a video game into a movie in a way that it felt like a movie.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it was this video game adaptation.
This feels more like it's you should be playing the video game, and here's the inner part between it where you see the little video clips. The way they're telling the trailer, the music I thought was horrible.
Yeah.
The dialogue. The only thing I liked was I saw, Nick Frost is in it at the end. That's awesome.
No relation to Jack Frost.
No.
Okay. I got to rate the trailer on 2 different levels. As a movie itself, being representing the video game, I didn't mind it. I thought it looked okay. But the actress herself, it did nothing for me.
She talks like this the whole time.
Yeah, but even that, she didn't look like somebody
Danish
who.
Girl, and I won an Oscar for the Danish Girl,
but she didn't look like somebody who I just looking at her, it's like, okay, you got like this skinny little high school looking girl to play this super tough action.
She looks like Tomb Raider. I mean, she's not as busty as the animated part of it on the games, but that's because of guys.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about. She didn't strike me as tough.
No, at all, because she talks like, I'm just kind of it's emo, and I'm going through this puzzle box.
But I think if everything else was the same and it was a different actress, maybe I would be a little more excited for it.
The whole thing didn't feel exciting at all.
It didn't,
and that was
it felt generic.
Yeah, very, very generic, very boring. Generic. Maybe a second trailer will fix that, but right now I look at it and go, you know what? Not excited. Probably not going to go see it now.
And then the big controversy with the poster. If you see the poster, she has this crazy long neck, and everybody's like laughing at the studio, saying, "What kind of Photoshop job is that?" It looks like, I think what they had is a pose they really liked, but her head wasn't turned or something like that. And then they found another picture of her with her head the way they wanted, and they combined them. But if you look carefully at pictures of her, she does have a long neck.
Yeah.
And I think between the Photoshop combined with her naturally long neck, it exaggerated it.
Just a little bit, yeah.
And it started looking crazy. So Twitter and all that had a blast in pointing it out.
And then I didn't even know there was a Tomb Raider movie coming out until I saw that. And then
it was the controversy about the neck is how I found out.
That's how I found out. And then someone says, yeah, there's a trailer now. So I watched that. So check out the trailer. Go online, check it out. Maybe we'll post a link online too.
Sounds good. So what about what's coming up this week for you, Brett?
I'll be at the Cincinnati Comic Expo.
Cincinnati.
Down in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be there. I was a little too late, and I ended up on the wait list, and it remained sold out. So I won't be there, but Brett will, my better half of the Odd Musing Show.
I will be in the Artist Alley with Connie the Comic-Con mom.
Okay.
Table D17. That's D for David.
All right.
And hanging out with some other pals down there. I know Sean Forney's coming out along with Steph Forney. Can't wait to see them. Rodney Fike's going to be there. I got Rachel Kaiser. Actually, it's Rachel Boggs now because she got married.
Yeah.
So her and the hubby are coming on down.
Yeah, she's keeping Kaiser for her art name.
Yeah.
So it'll still be Kaiser on the
yeah, she's listed there. She'll be right next to me, actually, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, she's great.
I've already sent them a message. There will be no marital funny business at the table.
Well, give it 5 years, there never will be again. But just kidding.
In that, so I'm looking forward to it. They're doing like a Harry Potter themed geek prom. As you guys know, I'm a Harry Potter fan, so I'll be wearing my T-minus 24 Harry Potter shirts all weekend long. Well, 2 of the days anyway, so I only have 2.
And then those going out to Baltimore Comic-Con, look for Dominic Riggio with Mess Bucket Comics. He'll be there, as well as our sponsors, T-minus 24.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Well, I forgot to tell you my news story.
Hurry up.
It was down in, we got a couple minutes. It was down in Australia. They had to call in the snake wrangler. A snake got into somebody's dresser drawers. And as they got through, they found out it was a trouser snake. There's my bad joke for the week.
Boom.
Yeah.
But actually, that was a true story.
It was. It actually was. They found it in the underwear drawer. So
Yeah.
some woman she called, and there was a picture online, and I look at it. Oh, must have been a trouser snake.
Yes. Brett's been waiting all hour to tell that.
I had to have one. I mean, I can't always do clearly see their nuts jokes. You know.
All right. And on that note.
And then Scott, do you have anything else? You're not doing anything this week?
I'm working on our Oddlands.
Oddland.
So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah. Guys, send us some feedback. What you think about Odd, and see what you want to hear from that. And then check out our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/oddmusings.
Yep.
$1, $5, $500. If somebody does $1,000 a month, we'll do something special. In fact, we'll drive out to your house and do the show live.
Yeah, for that, yeah.
But you have to stay on at least 6 months before we do it.
All right. On that note, Dominic, take us out.